This happened a long time ago, but there's no way I'll forget it. I was left home alone one fine morning. My parents regret leaving me home alone. This is why. I was sitting in the couch with chips watching the TV. It was a normal Saturday for us teenagers. I was eating chips with the volume turned high. I mean, really, really high. I heard a loud noise coming from the basement. I usually never went in there. I didn't give a shit about it besides the fact that the sound was so loud, I couldn't even really hear the TV. I just turned the volume down low and went with the fact that my mind was playing tricks on me. I went back to watching my favorite show. Then, I heard the sound again from the basement. This time, it was louder. I started to panic. I was telling myself that it was nothing, but the sound was too loud for me to agree with myself at that point. My dog was growling. It was sitting next to me, but its ears was picking up the noise. It was like there was a stranger in my house. My dog ran to the basement door and started going crazy. Started scratching the door like some toy or something. I yelled at my dog, "Brownie, no, my dad would kill me." It didn't listen. It just kept scratching and growling. I jumped back when the dog started barking and going out of control. I jumped back again when I heard a louder noise coming from the basement. I decided to place my hand on the doorknob, and I knew I regretted it at that second. I opened it and found the shadow. Then, I saw a few old pans fall down, and there stood a man. I let out a blood-curdling scream and closed the door immediately. My dog started barking loud as hell, loud enough for the neighbors to hear. I quickly ran to my bedroom and shut the door right behind me. Brownie was still with me, thank God. I had the phone. I dialed 911 and the police said they'll be right there. A few minutes later, I heard the front door open and close. The man was gone. The police questioned me when they arrived. I told them all I could and they never caught the man. My parents were surprised. They never left me home alone again. I was 12 years old when this happened to me. I know I was so young and I had already experienced something so horrible. I was home alone one day because my mom had to go to work and my dad was in California for his job. I did have a brother, but he was busy partying and my sister went to a bar with friends. I didn't really have any plans, so I decided to stay home, eating popcorn and watching horror movies. I was a fan of the movie The Conjuring, but I decided to watch The Scream instead. Then I heard a knock on the door. I was already creeped out. I walked towards the door and opened it. There stood a man with dirty blonde hair which was messed up and his teeth was golden and had an ugly smile. "Hello, are you Victoria?" he asked me. I nodded slowly. "Your parents asked me to, babysit you for today. They aren't home, are they?" he asked me in a deep voice. I shook my head and he said, "All right, let's go to my house, shall we?" he asked. "Your house?" I asked. "Aren't you supposed to babysit me in my house?" He shook his head. "No." All right, I said, shivering. He led the way. I followed him, but I wasn't really sure. I was following a complete stranger into the woods. At last we reached a wooden house. It looked amazing on the outside. I didn't know why he didn't look anything like it. I casually entered the house and inside, it looked real neat. There was a huge table with chairs neatly arranged. He smiled and told me my room was upstairs. I went upstairs without questioning him, which is weird. I didn't turn back. At last I came to a door. There were two doors, one at the right and one on the left. The one on the left said, "Do not enter under any circumstances," warning with exclamation marks all over it. The other one just said, "Enter." I looked at the door on the left and a smirk appeared on my face. I looked down. The man wasn't there. I placed my hand on the doorknob and tried to open it. It was locked. "Damn it," I whispered to myself. I kicked it open. Weird thing was, no sound was caused. I walked in, the room was completely upside down, kind of. The chairs were turned upside down, the tables were destroyed. There were spider webs around with no spiders, and there was a huge closet which was messy. I walked to the closet and opened it. I jumped back when I saw it. A decomposed body. I don't remember. All I know was the body had only one arm and its leg. I almost screamed at the top of my lungs. Then I saw a window. It was open. I jumped out. I was so panicked. After I jumped out, I saw another window from the outside. The curtains were open. The man was staring at me, well, frowning. I ran all the way through the woods and back to my house. I locked the door and started to cry. Tears of happiness and tears of fear. I screamed just then. I called 911 and told them what happened. They said they'd find the man, but they never did. My parents came home and I asked them about the babysitter, and their eyes widened. Babysitter? We didn't ask anyone to babysit you, my mom said. My eyes widened. I'm creeped out to this day. I hope the man's gone. This was the only encounter I had with him. Thank God. I was only 12 at the time. My mom was out on vacation, and me and my 3 other friends were at my house having a sleepover, playing Xbox 360. We kinda got bored of playing video games and stuff, so we went up another notch. We decided to prank call a few people, so I took over the phone and I decided to prank call 3 people. It was pretty funny. The last person wasn't really funny. I kinda got disturbed after what I heard. I was messing with him for about 5 minutes until he asked me our full name. Of course I lied to him. I said my name was John Gibson. Are you lying to me, he said. I said no, but this is when my heart skipped a beat. He told me my full name and my address. I hung up without a word. I told my friends and they got shocked, but I said just forget about it. He won't do anything. We started playing Call of Duty at the time until we all fell asleep. At about 2 in the morning, I heard a knock at the door. I said to my friends, "Do you guys hear that?" I thought to myself maybe it was my mom coming back early. But then again, she would always call. I regret doing this, but I went to the door and I said, "Who is it?" In a deep voice, I heard, "Are you Ryan Thompson?" My heart dropped and I rushed upstairs with my friends. I heard the door banging. I realized I forgot the house phone downstairs. I ran back down the stairs and grabbed a knife and the house phone. I started dialing 911 as I went up the stairs. I shouted out to the man that I told him I was calling the cops. He banged on the door even harder. He managed to break the door. It was like a horror movie in real life. I ran back in my room and locked the door. I swear my heart was beating out of my chest. All my friends looked scared as they heard the footsteps go up the stairs. Out of nowhere, we heard big loud bangs on our door. My friends started crying as they was scared the guy was about to break in. I grabbed my knife closer. The door started to bulge in as he kept banging on it. He managed to break the door and broke into my room. He grabbed my friend Jack and I managed to stab his shoulder. I pushed him down and me and my friends ran to my neighbor's house. My neighbor was curious about what was going on. As soon as I got in his house, I told him everything. Luckily, he had a pistol in his closet. He told us to stay put in the house and he ran into our house. Once he got back, he told us a man broke through the back window and went off into the woods. After about 15 minutes, the police arrived. We told them everything and they sent out K9 dogs into the woods. After about 2 hours of searching, they told us that they found the man. The man was hiding behind a tree and he was armed. He had a knife. After that, I never heard the man ever again. This happened about 2 weeks ago to me. I took snips of everything. I'm 14 years old currently, and here's my story. I was home alone finally. My parents were invited to a party. I was home alone, as you know. When I was getting really bored, I never watched the TV because I found it quite boring. I went upstairs and I decided to go on my laptop. I logged into my Gmail and I had a new email. It was from some weird email address I'd never seen before. It was just different letters and numbers. It said, "Hey, are you free today? Maybe we can hang out. Call me. I'll text you my number. I know yours, don't worry." I was creeped out. Maybe it's a chain mail or some type of spam message, I thought. Just then, my phone vibrated. I got a new message. It was from some weird number, and it said, "Do you want to hang out? I can give you my address." I didn't want to reply to this message. I got another one. "I see you." I replied, "What is the color of my shirt?" Then I saw something that was terrifying. The person said blue. I looked down at my blue colored shirt and my eyes were wide. It was probably a guess, I thought. I said, "What is my hair color and my eye color?" It said brown. It was true. My eyes were brown and so was my hair. I was fucking paranoid after this. I looked out every window. At the corner of my eye, I could see someone staring at me through a window in the basement. I looked at the window, panicking. The man ran away. I ran to the police station, gasping for air. I told them what happened and showed them the messages for proof. They never caught him. I don't know why he was threatening me. I don't know how he got my address. I don't know how he even got my number. Whoever he was probably a weirdo stalker.